Good evening. How are you? It's good. It's news. Yes, mate. I think so. Yeah, okay.
Hello, welcome YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, Twitch. Who have we got? It's in chat already. Daniel and it's you and Chris. Welcome. I've got yes, I've got XL with me for the final round tonight. Should be quite interesting. Obviously, Keaton taking a win. Or can Mint Matt get it together tonight?
Hopefully Mint Matt can do something.
Be good if he could.
He's still a good result.
50-minute race about to begin. It is Keaton on the top spot next to Mint Matt. Norm there in Viper's Head second row. Jono Stan jump starts and we get the race up and running. And it's good to have everybody with us again tonight. I know everybody's really busy, either keeping themselves entertained, lots of streaming. Even my stream provider said they ran out of connections to YouTube using the automatic system, so I had to do that manually. So here we go, Pubs up beside Captain Risky, but Risky just flies it out wide and runs around the outside of him. Pubs is losing positions quickly as Chopper Dog runs his way through the field. Razor, Chopper, Gruber all having a bit of a coming together as they clang wheels. And as we come to the back end of the circuit now, Keaton still leads. And Razor and Pubs, look at these two side by side. Then Chopper goes wide and he recovers just in front of some of the other drivers around him. Norm's doing really well to hold second place up from Zed. Mint Matt's fallen to fourth place. That was a pretty good start there. Captain Risky coming through. Hatfield
Well, Hatfield sent himself off into the no man land.
He did. He cooked it. It's easy to do it there. And Reeve O'Brien up into, it's good to have him with us. 11th place, Holden Man, Chopper Dog, Hatfield completes the 13-field grid. Yeah, good start. Who was anyone shining bright like a diamond for you early on?
I think Jono Stan's made up a couple of spots. Well, I think it was down in 9th, and I think he jump-started the green lights as well.
He did. Let's have
I heard some comments. I heard comments in the party chat that I'm sort of earwigging on. A couple of expletives there as the green lights went out, or as the red lights went off.
Oh, there's a few overtakes happening just ahead of Jono Stan, actually, as we watched on board. Norm and Zed getting the action together. Oh, it's going to push Zed wide.
Mint Matt coming into turn 6. He just got Viper and Norm.
Dion, he did, didn't he? It was a big move from Mini Matt. And Zed's gone wide once again at the Sheehan curve. And now Captain Risky's going to have a bit of a good run on him. So Zed's really fallen down the field order on lap number 2. Not a good start for him there.
Keaton's just going to do Keaton things here tonight. No one's going to be able to overtake him. 2.7 seconds. You could almost call it race over now. It's going to be battle for second. Mint Matt leading that charge at the minute. 1.7 ahead of Norm. Jono Stan less than half a second behind.
It is.
Can we take some appreciation with the F1 livery round tonight?
It is. We will. So obviously Keaton's been running the McLaren livery for a long time. Oh, hang on, Jono Stan up beside. He's got the B and Benson and Hedges livery. Oh, round the outside of Norm. That was a beautiful move. And Jono Stan will be very happy with that. That will get him 3rd place. I think there was a bit of drama down the back end. Pubs gets a little wide. Yeah, it's a retro round, am I right?
Retro fun round, yep.
Retro fun.
We're on the money.
Oh, another one. Another one gone. Groover in behind. We will get through some of them. Chopper Dog, he's got a good run on Groover there, and he's done it. So Groover now sitting but down into 11th position with Hatfield hot on his tail. I wonder if Hatfield can get it done. We're only 4 minutes into this one, 4 laps old. It's a quick lap. I mean, overtaking's hard at Brands Hatch, but some of them are making a meal of it tonight. Super Formulas, it's a very interesting combination. I'm interested to see how this one pans out. Hello, Dion, and Chris as well early on. Now, I wanted to show you the jump start of Jono Stan. Let's have a look. On board. Yeah, look at that. I think that was an early start from him. And he lost a lot of positions off the get-go.
Oh, Captain Risky's just sort of darted himself on the inside of the track. Whatever corner name that is. I'd have to know my corner knowledge here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th corner, I think it was. 7th corner, something like that. 15 seconds go, Josh.
We'll get back to him. Risky, there he is. Falling down the order.
He's his way through into the pit lane. Big Chopper Dog's just made it a nice little manoeuvre into turn 1 on Hatfield. Hatfield's going to fight back into turn 2. Or just up the inside, little touch there on the apex. Crispy manoeuvre.
Let's have a look. Coming down into the first turn. They were right on the tail of Groover there. Chopper Dog ahead of them. Hatfield gets pushed wide. Groover makes a small mistake. He gets the run. Inside line. Chopper tries to close the door, but there's already a car waiting, and he just had to succumb to that one. Good overtake. Good overtake. They've got to get their driving a little bit smoother now. They've got to get... There've been a few mistakes. I think guys trying to push things a little bit too hard too soon.
One of those tracks where you have to either be right on the tail and make a manoeuvre stick straight away, or you're just going to have to drop back and try and make that charge. It's not a track that it's going to be easy to follow on with all the corners that coming one after the other.
No, it's not. It is
take your opportunity when it's there, or regroup and try and do a strategy maneuver on them.
It is a difficult one. Mini Matt's put himself up to second place, 3 seconds behind Keenan leading, and Jono Stan holds third place, 2 seconds ahead of Norm with Zed. They've got a bit of a battle happening, which is good to see. Looking down behind Norm, you can see Zed sitting in the slipstream of Norm at the moment, backs out of that one, and Zed will be looking for the opportune moment to have a go. But Norm looks like he's got a bit of confidence through these corners.
Norm's been doing a fair bit of practice this week. Seen quite a few lobbies open from him, trying to churn some laps out. Try and make Zed's just gone a little bit wide there. I've heard him with dirty tyres for the next couple of corners.
He will.
Although they are right-handed, so it shouldn't be too bad. Got his right tyres dirty.
Brian is just ahead of Razor at the moment. So some of these guys now just settling into this one, just for the long haul, 50 minute drive. 42 minutes gone. 42 minutes to go. Groove is trying to catch back up to Razor now. I don't think Razor's joined in on the livery retro round.
No, there was a livery made for him. Captain Risky made a hot livery, but he just decided to dock the boys and not put it on.
That's what it is, what it is. Josh Montfort, welcome. Good morning. Just a quick check to check in on this weird action, but a fan of Brands Hatch. Agreed. This is a weird combination, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's oh no! Groover again, out wide. In 9th place, he's not doing himself any favours. Dirty tyres once again. Hatfield will be closing in on him there. Through Sheehan's.
He's got one again. He's gone off.
Big accident for him. Taking out one of the braking markers too.
He's still in the fence. Sucks to see it at this level. Someone in the pits there for a second, didn't we?
This is what happened to him. Through Sheehan, he didn't quite get the apex, ran wide, and that's so easy to do that. Down into 13th. So we check through the field again. Jono Stan's fallen off mid-mat, 4 seconds adrift from Zed, who's managed to claw away from Pubs, who's now ahead of Brian, working their way through. Norm's down in 8th at the moment. So these guys diligently
right
working
on the gearbox of Razor 4797.
He does. He's got Norm right on his tail. On his 6 o'clock. The pace. Razor holding a lot of grip. Norm backs out of it slightly into Sheehan's curve. Oh, he's cut it. No, we'll get away with that for now. But here comes Norm. He
doesn't get protested over that.
Possibly can. I don't think Norm will care too much because he gets the...
Norm slip one up the inside.
He did. He got the overtake done. Got it done.
Get it, girl.
At Clark curve. And then down to the Brabham straight. He's made it clear that he is now holding 7th place over Razor.
Captain Risky and Small Blended Cat coming into turn 1 there. Big Chopper Dog's got his elbows out. Small Blended Cat got his elbows out. Trying to throw Risky into the sand.
Older man's got the old Marlboro livery, and he's got the cat on him.
He's got the cat on him.
The big cat, the Small Blended Cat, using the overtake button. He likes to use it early, and he gets it.
He's absolutely sent his overtake in the first 9 laps.
Let's have a look. We haven't had a look at the finer details of things. Here we go. His overtake 50% used. Big Chopper Dog likes to use it early on. Doesn't leave himself anything at the end to defend later on.
We'll be pleased to know for the viewers at home watching on that it doesn't actually look like Keaton's going to be running away with this. Mid-mat's pulled the gap back down to 1.5 seconds here.
That I like to hear about.
Trying to make things spicy.
Yeah, Mini Matt He is catching. Look at that. Look at the tyres on Keaton. Those soft tyres, almost half used. Overtake none. Matt's done the same situation. So, but he's been able to look after his tyres a lot better, actually. And it's actually surprising the difference. Matt's been able to just be a little bit gentler on those fronts. And that could give him the edge here. That's probably why he's catching. Oh, Keaton's
had a big wobble. Wow.
You don't see him do mistakes like that very often. And there's the overtake for the lead. Matt takes...
Talking about mistakes just like last week, weren't we, Josh?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were in the endurance race. We were saying how we don't see them very often, and there is one.
You can tell how much Keaton's been practicing though. He's got an extra 400 kilometres on his car compared to that.
Yeah, I love the odometer feature of this game. It's quite a nifty little Easter egg, so to speak. So
Have
yeah,
a little flick through the odometers. We've got Jono Stan on almost 2,500 Ks. Viper Z on 1,300. Norm 3,410.7 kilometres on his SF19.
It's a lot of
River
practice.
Ryan nearly 2,000, 1,500 on Razors, 15 on small blended cats. Captain Risky obviously doesn't care about this car, 671. 2,000 on Uncle Pubs.
Oh, that's what went wrong with the first lap.
Into the pits.
He ran a bit wide. He is. Keaton's into the pits, so the lead. Did Matt decide to follow? No, he's continued on. So this is an opportunity now for Keaton to undercut Matt, who's taken the lead of this one. Keaton's taken the championship out, but his ego won't let him lose this one. And we're running out of time. Jono Stan goes up in a second, and he runs that extra lap with Matt on lap 12. A few of the other boys now just cycling through their situation. Everybody on the soft tyre currently.
Razor's made a pit stop in there somewhere as well. He's on fresh softs.
Most of them are at the moment, yeah. Groovy down the back end. Matt, we're expecting him to fall in line. Let's see what he does. No.
Matt, from what I saw, he had an extra lap or two in his front tyres compared to what Keaton had when he went into the pits.
He did.
And after that little slip that Keaton had on the first turn, coming out of the last turn on the main straight there, I reckon it may have just taken that little bit extra out of his tyre life, giving him dirty tyres into the first couple of corners.
Jono Stan's continued on too. His last lap 109, just for reference. Keaton did a 109.2 coming out of the pits. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Jono Stan, he's got Keaton right on him, but he's been able to hold him off. Brands Hatch is hard to overtake. And Jono Stan's using that to his advantage. The overtake button now for Keaton. He wants to get past. He wants to make this a quick one. Up beside him. Stan might just get this one. He does. Falls back into line. Keaton back up into second place.
Yeah. Oh, yuck. You can see that.
Matt now coming down. Clearways up to Clark Curve. Is he going to go into the pit entry? His tyres are screaming at him at this moment in time. Oh, he's going to do another lap. Let's have a look. His last lap, 109.5. This lap, 109.7. He only lost 2/10. Keaton did a 108.3. Not surprising. He's got fresh new rubber, but that is about 3 extra laps Matt has at the end of this race over this man Keaton. So that could come to play back to haunt him.
Keaton's just gone purple in the first sector as well.
Jono Stan that lap as well did a 110, so he's really falling off the pace, but he's stayed ahead of Viper Z. He's also done a 110, so it's oh, he's in the marbles too, Z. He's very lucky to get that one through. But he's done it.
Stepping around his tail.
He is.
6 tenths of a second.
Yeah, Z coming through Surtees a little bit wide on the marbles, so he's got some dirty tyres. But Norm has stuck with him, you're right. He's there in the Pagnian car, waiting to make a move. And next Sunday, we've got the Bathurst 120 at 10 a.m. A few of your boys are joining us. I don't know actually who they are.
Well, now we're keeping it a secret, Josh. It's going to be secret entries for the Bathurst 120 next week.
Well, it's a secret time of day event.
Yes. You're making us get up early, so I'm not going to tell you anything.
Nah, fair enough. John O'Stan comes out of the pits. He comes right out beside Viper Z. And now Viper Z, he falls back into line, so Stan kept his position. That's allowed Norm to be right up on the back end of Zed now. Zed's got a bit of work to do as we ride on board with him.
Viper's looking like he's having a lot of fun on his rear tyres there, getting a bit shaky coming out of turns.
Yeah, Surtees, that's the last. He had a bad corner there last time. He did a little bit better this lap. So he's learned from his mistakes. But you can see Viper Z's tyres absolutely screaming at the end of their life, halfway through. I don't know how. Well, it's probably different in an SF19, but in the 458, which is the car I pretty much exclusively use, I just couldn't drive the car anymore. Tyre wear on that.
458, the tyres would have gone on lap 3, gone off on lap 3.
Yeah, it's I mean, I remember people telling me. So Midmat has pitted and he's come out in second. I remember people telling me when I used that car, I didn't know how you used it, and I thought it was like that for everyone. But then I went and played on another car one day, and I realised just how difficult my task is in the 458.
Not making your life easy by picking Ferrari over and over again.
Well, I keep getting star player, so I'm just going to keep, and I'm a B grade driver, so I'm just going to keep sticking with it, I think.
That makes sense.
Like every season, I can guarantee that I'll be in the top 5 for Ferrari and star player registration. I'm never going to make it to a world final, but I can at least wear the S badge in a B lobby. It's fun. Norm?
Up badging yourself?
Yeah, I pretty much am. If you do see Tynesider in a lobby, it's me. I'm not that good. It's just that I drive a stupid car that no one wants to drive, and I don't blame them. That's probably why I don't see it in the FIA World Finals ever. I'd like to, though. Norm, he's still sitting in 5th place. The gap, about a second. So Zed's just holding that DRS distance nicely. No DRS, but they do have the KERS system to use whenever they feel like it. And as you can see, if you are new to Super Formula, green means they've still got at least 25% or more left. So we kept guessing if we weren't able to bring up the telemetry, but we can. But just by a quick glance, you can see green, there's still at least 25% to go, so they're not near the end of the tank. At the moment, these two are just holding station and line abreast of each other. Razor there, he's a little way off. Oh, look how busy it is down 7th, 8th and 9th and 10th, all 4 of them. Hatfield, he gets pushed out wide onto the grassy stuff. He tries to go around Brian. Pubs tries to squeeze it through the middle. The eye of the needle stuff there, but he just needs to put his glasses on. He'll try again. 8th place now for Hatfield. Why were we not looking at this before? Look at the run Brian got through there. He runs in an alternate league every other Sunday, is that right?
He does do sometimes, yeah. I think he is involved with Thrill House.
Yep.
So he does disappear, but he's been lobbying for a Super Formula season for a number of seasons now, and he's finally got it. So I reckon he's committed a little bit more time to the RaceOnOz Sunday League.
That's good. That's good. Now I will say to everyone, you're probably seeing a lot of people streaming at the moment. When this is all blown and done and over, I'm still going to be here. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of racing action here on Demo 1. This is obviously the RaceOnOz League. If you'd like to join them, RaceOnOz.com. They're always ready to have new fans and drivers join them. Have you
always got our arms open for new members coming in. Give them a little cuddle, give them a pat on the back.
Exactly.
Show them to the dark side.
I am the Chris Brown. Like the stream. Thank you very much, sir. He sent me 30 NZ dollars on a stream through my stream, the Streamlabs link the other week. So big shout out to you, Chris. He said to use it on a new set of the Thrustmaster load cell pedals, which I'm calling the LCMs.
It's a good start. I mean, $30 probably wouldn't buy them, but it's close. It's getting there.
It's getting there. It's very close. Yeah, no, I do appreciate it. But yeah, it is all entirely supported from you guys, so I do appreciate it when you do get the opportunity to do that. Obviously, right now at the moment, I don't expect it.
Captain Risky trying to put some steam on Hatfield here down in 10th and 11th. Hatfield looks like he's just come out of the pits on some fresh soft tyres. Captain Risky on some mediums. Hatfield looks like he's just going to run away here.
I think he will, yeah. Brian was redressing Hatfield before to avoid a steward's inquiry. I didn't see that. Pubs and Chopper Dog, they're attached at the hip at the moment. Looking to see if the small blended cat can get his way through. Look, he's down to the red light, so 25% to go. 8th place. Pubs slots into the pit lane. Mandatory tyre, we've still got that yet to come too for some of them. Look at that, he's got less than 25% to go, so Chopper Dog very, very liberal in the use of his curse system. Mint Matt has caught Keaton though, which is good to see, and you can see why. Look at the tyre difference. Mint Matt's going to be able to make a meal of Keaton in just a few laps' time. This is
what the viewers want to watch, Josh. This is what the viewers want to watch.
Viper Z,
Jono Stan's put himself into the grass, into the gravel.
Oh, he did. We'll get back and have a look.
A little bit there.
There was a lot happening through the field as well. Zed somehow has kept his position ahead of Razor and Norm. Look at these tyres. They're just screaming in pain. In fact, I think we should call the authorities, because I think what he's done is illegal. I don't know how he's managed to make that work. A 110.7.
What he's done, those tyres, it starts with R and rhymes with graped. He's graped those tyres.
Oh, yeah.
They are gone. They are dead and gone.
Thank you for being mindful of my YouTube AdSense. Not that I get a lot. But yeah, somehow if we said that word, we'll probably get limited.
Demonetised, straight up.
It does happen.
I can tell you a lot about demonetising streams, Josh. I can tell you a lot about that.
Norm.
It's our favourite Sunday thing to do.
Well, it's a good pastime. Norm gets it done, so Zed falls through the order to 6th. But
I've just heard from my sources here, Josh, that Viper Z's tyres have been in the fence since 15 laps ago.
Yeah, well, they've been there for a long time. I don't know how he's made it work.
I think he's just being arrogant now. I think he's just being arrogant. He just doesn't want to change his tyres.
Well, Mint-Matt leads. Don't know where the overtake happened. We might be able to see it here, actually. The beauty of replay. He was on the back end of Keaton. Oh, back flicks out. Keaton made another mistake, a rare one, and he was around.
Two mistakes from Keaton in one race. We don't see two mistakes from Keaton in a season. No. In one race.
We were lucky to catch that. That's a rarity. He'll be very
I'm having Fuji screamed in my ear here, Josh, as well. I don't think you stream Fuji, but I'm having Fuji screamed in my ear here.
Yeah, Fuji, I think, was the one that I didn't quite get to. Let's have another look. Rear end out, tried to collect it. He was on the brake, you could see, and it just sent the car into a wild spin. Big moments. I actually went through the other day and took a few photos from last year's Bathurst 120. So there are photos that are existing. I'm very excited to get the next chapter done, second annual Bathurst 120 with a full grid this time.
this Norman Razor fight for 4th and 5th here looks like it's going to spice up here in a second.
Yeah, I'm just keeping a close eye on it. You're not wrong. But before we call the action there, just welcome along all the new fans and everybody out there watching in these dire times. My name's Josh Kane. I've got Daniel, or XL, with me in the commentary booth, commentating the Race on Oz Round 7 fixture from Brands Hatch. This is a Super Formula. And
coronavirus ain't going to stop this show, boys.
No, it's not. We're able to do this from the comfort of our own homes, luckily. In Tasmania, well, you were pretty much blocked from the rest of the country like last week. Pretty much needed a passport to get into Tas.
No, that wouldn't even help you.
Exactly.
No passport, nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so. They made it quite difficult. So, anyway, but yes, welcome along. Lots of eSport
back in the pits.
eSport racing here. If you have started to get a bit of a taste for it, we've got a lot of that here on the channel, so don't forget to subscribe and follow. Yes, Keaton out into the racing line again. He's 3rd place, just behind. But Razor, this is the one we're watching. Razor and Norm. I don't know if Brian had a problem down there in 6th. No, just saw a distant blip. I thought he was going around and around. Razor still just ahead as we ride on board with Norm. And you can see the tyre wear on your left and right. And time of day does affect the grip levels, which is something I've only just figured out recently in this title, Gran Turismo Sport. I didn't used to think it did.
Time of day has a little bit of an effect to it. How hot the track might be.
Yeah.
It's not massive. It's not massive, but you can tell when it's just coming sunrise, early in the morning track time. It does tend to change the tyre grip a little bit compared to full sun, middle of the day. Razors into the pits.
He is. Yeah, well, we had the FIA, first manufacturer's FIA at Lake Maggiore, and it was a foggy one, and it was so cold, there was no grip on that track at all. It's probably exaggerated. Like I said, I drive the 458, so it's probably exaggerated, but holy hell. That was a task and a half. Razor comes out ahead of Hatfield, who's been leading this group. Zed's fallen to 8th.
Oh, Keaton's gone wide. I think Jono's escorted him off into the grass there.
Let's have a look. Let's get you the story before the story. No, Keaton tried to get around him. Jono didn't give up. Oh, that was just
self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You'll love to see it.
I would, if you're trying to stay less latency, the best stream to watch is the Mixer one, and you can almost watch mine stream in real time. Mixer.com/Demo1Garage, I think. I must say I'm not very popular on Mixer, but it is good for that. It's weird how different platforms are different popularities. I'd say YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch are starting to become pretty good lately. The only one that let me down is Mixer at the moment. But there's so many to choose from. That's why I stream on all of them, to let you guys just watch where you want to watch from, because I know some people don't like Twitch, some people don't like Facebook, and some people only like YouTube.
Mixer just an app straight out of the Play Store or Apple Store?
Sorry?
Where do we find Mixers? Where do we find Mixer?
Oh, you on a phone?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it should be in the Play Store. Yeah, they got an app. Overtake being used here around the outside of Jono's stand for the 2nd place Keaton, but Jono's not giving up at all. This is incredible racing. We don't usually get to see Jono. Look at his tyres, and somehow he's holding on against Keaton.
Well, Jono's not letting Keaton have it all his own way. He's going to try and throw him around the outside, but no, Keaton, fresh tyres. Off he goes.
Jono was doing a really good job of it, though. His tyres are halfway gone. Keaton's got some fresh rubber. That's why
Keaton's got a lot of time to make up back to Matt as well.
Yeah, let's get you an update on that.
An entire 20 seconds. Oh.
Yeah, that's a difficult task and a half. I don't usually show it, but let's show the live timing. There it is. Time gap 19 seconds. Last lap 107.
Seventh and eighth. Josh, 7th and 8th. Hatfield and Viper Z. Split between less than 3/10 of a second here.
They
Coming
are.
off the Indy course onto the GP circuit.
Small blended cats amongst them.
And small blended cat joining in as well.
Oh, here we go.
There's a lot of nose to gearbox action here.
Chopper Dog's using that curse to stay with them. There's no real open space for him to go around. Hatfield goes
Hatfield's
wide.
He's gone, he's in the fence.
So that one sorted itself out pretty quickly. But it was a great little bit of action. So we watch Razor run a little bit wide down the clearways. Chopper Dog does the same thing. The boys getting right on the edge here. As we run up to 18 minutes to go. Zed did a very long stint early on. You could almost make this a 2-stop for him. Hatfield's in. I'm waiting to see that mandatory tyre compound used. I haven't ticked anyone off my list yet. This is Mid-Matt leading the race. 16.9 seconds. So Keaton has made a bit of time just in those last couple of laps. It was up to 19. Jono Stan
Making use of his fresh soft tyres there, Josh,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Well, that's the beauty of Mid-Matt's first stint where he went long.
Oh, Revo Bryant's just gone wide as well. Some of these boys need dirt tyres, not slick tyres.
Yeah, there it is. There's the mistake. I mean, Brands Hatch is such a narrow circuit. And then to do it in a Super Formula and then to do it consistently wouldn't be easy, especially when your tyre wear is starting to wear away a little bit.
Small blended cat trying to close up on the back of Viper's head here. Making just these little mistakes that are keeping him off the back of his gearbox.
Yeah, that's all it takes. And you can see Chopper won't have Kerr's much left anymore. He's been pretty happy, trigger happy with it. So
Man with the blue flags, Mid-Matt coming screaming through. Was that Keaton? That's Keaton.
Yeah, Mid-Matt's in. Let's see where he comes out. Bit of fuel as well. Tops the juices up. Oh, I stole that one from you last week. I liked it.
The Go Juice. Yeah, I drove juice, so we'll have to send him.
Here he goes, just out behind. Oh, Holden man comes through. Holden will get the blue flags, but Mid-Matt won't be too stressed with that, but he would have liked a free circuit to do his thing. The gap, 1.8 seconds. And Keita's just gone purple in Sector 1. Mid-Matt following. So now the chase begins. As the rest of the field, they all filter through the pit lane. Norm will need to take some fuel. He's 3% to go, where Brian's got 35. So everybody choosing a slightly different strategy when it comes to the field top-ups. 15 minutes. And Mid-Matt still within striking range now.
So I've heard Revo Bryant actually pays for the fuel in GT Sport out of his own pocket. That's why he's so frugal on it.
Maybe.
Just doesn't like using it.
I don't know how he's done that.
He paid half price for the game when it came out, so that was the deal that I think him and PD had.
I bought the old special edition that came in a box with a book and a model car. I got that one. I don't know how much that cost me, but
I got mine online.
and I never. But I got a
Turn into
review.
Frisbees if I get angry with the game.
Yeah, I got a review copy of the game, which turned into a full copy. And I tell you what, I couldn't review Gran Turismo Sport because the servers weren't online, and I just couldn't play it. So I didn't know how to review it, and my reviewer didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, I can't review this, and he emailed me back. What do you mean? I went, it's an online game. I cannot review this. So my review never went up. And it was weird. We got a weird save file that unlocked everything in the game.
With the review, was it the beta testing or
No. This was a review copy.
a review copy of the game?
Got it from Sony, yeah.
Yeah, right. Did you grab your little mitts on that one?
Well, I was at the time doing a bit of work for an Australian website that does game reviews, and I had become the man known to do the racing titles, and I said, can I do GT Sport? And no one on the regular there wanted to do it, so I got my hands on it. I was very excited.
Honest question, had they seen you driving before they let you review the game?
No, I never gave them unedited copies of my videos. Always very
highly edited versions.
Yes. But I did things like F1 for a few years. I reviewed those. I did Project Cars 2, the Dirt games. So I'd sort of become known on the website as the car guy. But I haven't done anything.
Worst thing to be known by.
I haven't done anything since GT Sport was released. So yeah, my last one was a few years ago now. But
hasn't been any decent racing games since GT Sport came out though.
Well, WRC8 surprised me. Very, very.
I saw some gameplay trailers for that because it's down to $20 on the PS Store at the minute.
Well, WRC9's been released. Announced for September. But if you can crack, well, on the PC, I don't buy any games on the PS4 anymore.
Because it doesn't matter within touching distance.
They're just a little bit. They're not always the same on PS4. Sometimes the PC does a little bit of a better job. Yeah, you're right. Mintmat is very close. But WRC8, very, very much enjoyed that one. Mintmat, he's right up beside him now. Keaton, almost like he's standing still. A little bit of a touch. Mintmat flies on by. Keaton. Not very often, but in second place.
Matt's just not respecting Keaton's GT Sports Sunday League RaceOnOz level of godness here. He's like, I'm going to rub your face in the dirt.
Well, Matt's got a reputation to uphold now. He just needs to win himself one, get himself back into the groove, end of the season, get himself a win.
A little bit going on down here, 7th, 8th and 9th. Hatfield leading, Small Blended Cat leading Viper Z.
Yeah, these guys are not giving up. These guys all keep swapping and changing every single other lap.
Viper Z just out of the pits too. Some fresh black Hamburgers on his car.
Norm's ahead of that little pack by at least 4 seconds, so he's clear of 7th, 8th and 9th at the moment, which is nice for him. Captain Risky about to be lapped from mid-mat. He's got the old Jaguar livery. You might have seen Mark Webber driving in. Oh, Mint-Matt had a mistake. Mint-Matt, I don't know what he did. Let's have a look, because Keaton's leading this race again. He was on a purple sector 2, coming up on the back of Risky, using the curve system, and I think he just overcooked it with a little bit too much entry speed, and there goes around Keaton. Mint-Matt won't be happy with that small mistake, because that might have cost him the race. He'd worked so hard to build the gap he built.
10 minutes to go though. Keaton's still got to put some tyres on, still got to put some fuel in. Matt's looking like he should be able to go to the end here, so realistically I reckon Matt's sort of net first position here.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
You wouldn't want to win it after making mistakes like that, having a commanding lead.
No. Do they not have to use a medium tyre? Or am I getting my leagues mixed up?
Let's just double check that one. That's a very good question, sir.
I know Mint-Matt's...
it's only the soft mandatory tonight, so they've definitely ticked that one off the list.
Alright, well that changes things a big time then. That explains why we've seen so many different strategies on call. So Keaton's
gone in. Yep. 0% of fuel.
Damn, he must have practiced that a lot to get that one so precise. Keaton in. Fuel topped up. New tyres. That should get him to the end. Surely. 9 minutes of fuel there. Second place. Jono Stan's coming
seconds.
Flying through. I think Jono Stan will get to the end too. whether or not his tyres will. Razor's almost at the end of his fuel, so he'll need to pop in at the end of this lap. Brian, maybe a little bit of a top up, but he could make it to the end if he's fuel saving. Norm, he's good. Small blended cat, not quite. He's got no fuel.
Small blended cat, definitely not. No. He's got half a lap worth of fuel left in him, I reckon.
He must have forgotten to fill up, because he's got almost new...
No, he just doesn't like filling up fuel.
It just doesn't make sense.
Gets his overtake over and done with nice and early, doesn't fill up fuel.
No, it's a very...
5%'s going to have him on a silver platter here.
I think he will. Chopper coming. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull away in time. So we look out the back of Chopper Dog.
So the gap's closed down 1.5 seconds in one lap. Keaton and Min Matt. 8 minutes to go.
Keep an eye on that one, because that's going to be a very interesting one to watch as we come to the end of this race. Waiting for Zed to make a move. Razor's inside the pits. I'm waiting for Big Chopper Dog to do the same. He's in. On his marks.
So Keaton trying to send his overtake button out here, trying to close the gap up. You've really got about 3 or 4 absolute hot laps in these tyres before they start to struggle and squirm a little bit. And Keaton's wringing the neck out of him. He's just gone half a second purple coming into the last sector.
He's got to be careful he doesn't overdrive. 1:08 last lap. That's a quick time. Let's see what he does this time.
1:05.9.
Whoa. Where did he pull that from?
His bag of tricks, Josh.
1:05.
He's got a big bag of tricks.
That is a 1:05.892. Good luck trying to match that at home.
You can see the tyre drop off. He's already 1.5 tenths down on his first sector time.
I've lost the split time. Here we go. Another 10th. Waiting to see what he can put together this lap, because this one's going to be a very interesting lap for him. The gap between him and Matt stands at about 8.4, 8.5, but he's pulling him in every corner, every inch he drives. Just as I've said that, it's down to almost 8.2. So Mint Matt's got a bit of working out to do here in the final 6 minutes. There he is. He's just behind some traffic now, so Mint Matt just needs to keep it clean. This is Jono standing in third. He's 12 seconds behind Keaton, but he's 14 seconds ahead of Brian. So third place for Jono Stan seems to be in the books. And has Jono Stan... He has been pretty vocal with the penalty system. Has the update reprieved him somewhat, or is he still a little bit annoyed at the way they've done it?
Everyone's annoyed with the penalty system.
There's Razor in 5th and Zed, so those two still to sort out these positions. Yeah, I just made a video on it, just a quick video on the situation. That'll be going out early in the morning. So it'll be there when you guys wake up. But there was calls for a boycott in Gran Turismo Sport, which almost happened, I think, with the top guys. But it wouldn't have stopped most people playing. But I think the fast ones in the top splits probably would have.
They seem to have reacted pretty quick though.
And that's the thing, they don't usually react at all.
There was an update that came out the next day after all the big Euro split guys made a complaint. Like a lot of big names made complaints about the penalty system and how it was given unfair penalties and quite large penalties for basically nothing. I remember myself at that first race on Wednesday night. I pitted for a fresh set of tyres and I was making some pretty decent ground on some of the guys in front of me. and coming around the last corner of Maggiore, one of the guys who was on some very second-rate tyres was trying to take his way into the pits, and because I had such a run coming out of the last 2 corners, I was up his inside before he was sort of given the chance to go into the pit lane. And as I was coming over the start-finish line, I was given a 10-second penalty because he banged into the side of me trying to get his way into the pits.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was really bad. I mean, you're not the only one with stories like that. There's a lot of people. I had a bloody penalty similar to that, 4 seconds for being hit. So, you know, I was just like, what's the point? You can't race, you can't rub doors, you can't even knock the guy. If you accidentally just touch the guy ahead of you, I think I tagged him. I didn't punt him or anything. It was just a slight knock, and it was a 2-second penalty. And then the guy behind me hits me, and then, you know, you get pushed off, and then you getting penalised.
Get another penalty again.
Yeah, and you just like.
They do seem to be running the COVID-19 social distancing regulations in their FIA racing. Yeah. You must stay 1.5 metres apart at all times.
So the way they've tried to tweak it, not good enough, or it still needs work.
I think they got a bit strong. I think they got a bit strong on their penalties, and it's kind of flipped around. Like the guys that are copping the penalties are the guys that shouldn't be. Like they seem to be the innocent parties on most of the complaints that have been voiced.
Yep.
Whatever PD are doing, you can see they're trying to work on it to make it right, but they're not quite finding that right balance zone. They're not allocating the blame for the incidents quite clearly enough.
No. I think what they need to do more of is just talk to the community. That's it.
Yeah.
It would stop a whole lot of crap going on. I do talk about it in a little bit more detail in the video, but yeah, I think if they were just to open up and say, hey, look, we've got a problem, this is what we're doing, let us know, or, you know, this is the problems we're running into, I think the community would be a little bit more sympathetic to the situation. But just because they just never communicate it, we never know what's going on, and people start to, there's hearsay, conjecture, and there's arguments, and it just goes on from there.
PD don't want to give all their tricks away with how they're trying to run their penalty system at the same time, so you can see where they're trying to be a little bit secretive. You're trying to avoid people trying to exploit the penalty system as well.
That I get.
So if they know if X person does Y, then Z person gets a penalty.
I'm not asking them to
avoid that scenario. Yeah,
I'm not asking them to tell us how the algorithm works. But razor wide, he was catching Brian fairly well. The gap 2.6 now up to 2.8, almost 3 seconds. Zed might be able to get Razor before the end of this one. But yeah, I don't need them to tell us, hey, this is how the algorithm works. But if they say, look, we're just having issues trying to, you know, define blame in the whatever, they can be very vague. But if they just let us know, then I think that's all we need.
A couple of penalties that I got on Wednesday night, they seem to be from incidents of me being down the inside. So someone turning into me on the entry of a corner, me being on the inside of the other racer that was trying to go into the pits. Like there's a common factor there where if you get hit on your outside door, that the game seems to think you're throwing a dive bomb. Last race here, Josh, 1.7 seconds, Keaton to mint Matt.
It is, just noticed. We're on the last lap, and oh, look at this, Keaton's really closing in the door. On this last lap, he's going to be putting in a staunch time. He's going to need to get somewhere up near the 1.105. If you can hit a 104, you'll easily catch Mint Matt. I don't know if that's possible.
His tyres are not going to let him do that.
Just have a quick look for those at home. There it is. He's got nothing in the tank. Mint Matt. Oh,
he needs another low 107. Mint Matt's been hanging around the 108s for the last few laps here. I reckon Dirty Air is going to stop him getting too close.
And Mint Matt's got overtake at the ready too. There he is. Look, he's pushing it hard, coming into clearways. The gap, 1 second. He goes wide. Mint Matt though,
doing everything he can.
He sees that line coming. The distance still about a second between them. Keaton tried everything in the book, but Mint Matt will take the win for the final round.
Mint Matt seals the season off with a win.
Fantastic finish there for him. Razor, Zed, Norm and Chopper Dog have all taken the checkered flag. John O'Stan's coming around. Reeve O'Brien got lucked out there as he obviously got across the line before those behind him did, so stopped them getting a shot on this last lap to close the door. But an interesting end of the season with Mint Matt taking a win. Keenan takes the championship, so congratulations.
John O'Stan trying his hardest not to get to the finish line.
We'll play those games. There's Brian to finish off the round here tonight. Very interesting. Well, it's been great having you on the season, but I don't know. Well, I don't know how long the ACC season runs, and then but if there's time, I'll be back to do the Race on Oz for season 11.
Good.
I don't know if I'll be there every single week at the moment, but schedule pending, we'll figure it out. But yeah, it's been great having you along. It's been good to talk, and we'll have to catch up again soon. Talk about all things racing.
We'll definitely have to have a chat about racing as it comes and goes, for sure.
Well, I'm sure if the country goes into lockdown in the next week or two, we'll probably get time to do that.
Yeah, we'll have nothing else to do.
No, we won't. But yeah, if you are interested in joining season 11 with Race on Oz, RaceOnOz.com, hit them up. The Sunday night league. What's the heading under? Sunday night GT Sport, I think, on the forum.
GT Sport Sunday League.
That's
it's the first subtopic, first sub forum that's on the forums.
And you don't need to be as quick as these guys. There are other divisions that run. So, yeah, if you find yourself a little bit slower, don't worry. There's a division for you. RaceOnOz.com. Give them all the support that they've given me, and have a bit of fun next season when that starts. How long's the break? A couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
After school holidays, I reckon they'll come back. So they'll have a couple of weeks off now. 4 weeks in between. All depends when the government decides to put school holidays on. Really, thinking about bringing it forward. But I reckon it'll be late April. The next season gets underway after the Easter break.
Awesome. And don't forget, thank you, Paul Beattie, for hitting the like. And this Sunday, 10 a.m. That's Brisbane time, 10 a.m. We have the Bathurst 120. We've got Race on Oz. We've got FNL1. We've got SFR and Rockefeller Racing guys from the States joining. We've got some of the best drivers in all those three leagues, and a random that Mr. Burt, who was raced with us last season. He was one of the ones saying he wanted to come back, and he kept in touch, and I left a spot open for him. So we've got 3 leagues and one guy from Europe. It's going to be fun, so I can't wait to see how that one pans out. A full grid, 15 drivers, and I'll be commentating for that from you well, the race starts at 10:30, qualifying at 10:10, so join us then for that. I'm very keen to see that one play out. The second Bathurst 120, 2-hour endurance around Mount Panorama.
Keen to try and defend my title here, Josh, as well.
Yes, XL.
Sneaky one out there.
It was Group 4 last year, and I think you were driving, was it the Aston or the Jag?
No, the F-Type. Yeah, Jag F-Type.
The Jag. So you did win it. It was a close call between you and who was it? It was one of the other race on
John O'Stan.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were going
for the stick at the time.
You guys were going at it, absolutely. So expect a similar finish. The regulation's a little bit different to last year, so we should hopefully get a lot more exciting than what we had at the end of that, and that was incredible, so I can't wait. But that ends season 10. We'll be back for season 11. Next Sunday we've got ACC with FNL1, but there's still plenty of racing going on. So thanks for supporting us tonight, and we'll see everybody in the coming days and weeks. Join us tomorrow morning for SFR. Until then, good night, and stay safe. Wash your hands.